Good morning. Good morning. Welcome back to Bookeemonsters. My name is PK. It is Wednesday, September the 17th. We're here to look at the new releases that have been published this week. And today is the day we look at crime fiction and thrillers, so the darker side of mysteries. Hope you're having a good day. Good morning. Welcome. Quick announcements. I don't have any sprints tonight. I don't do them on Wednesday night. Our next sprints are tomorrow evening, Thursday evening at 8 p.m. Eastern. We do them every Tuesday and Thursday evenings and Saturday afternoons. Mary says, good morning, everyone. Happy Wednesday. Rain. Oh, good. We actually had rain last night. And they say more today, although we will see. You can almost hear the sighs of relief from nature. Oh, how wonderful. Oh, I'm so happy. That is good. All right, let us jump into crime fiction and thrillers. First up, a new one from Walter Mosley. Excuse me. This is called Gray Dawn. It is 17th in the Easy Rawlins series. The name Easy Rawlins stirs excitement in the hearts of readers and fear in the hearts of his foes. His success has brought him a thriving detective agency with its first female detective, a remote home shared with children and pets and lovers, high atop the hills overlooking gritty Los Angeles, and more trouble, more problems, and more threat to those whom he loves. In other words, he's still beset on all sides. A number of below-the-law power brokers plead with Easy to locate a mysterious, dangerous woman, Lutisha James, though she's gone by another name that Easy will immediately recognize. In 1970s Los Angeles is a transient city of delicate, violent balances, and Lutisha has disturbed that. She also has a secret that will upend Easy's own life, painfully closer to home. Mary says, Walter's been around a while. Nice to know he's still writing. Indeed. I agree. Excuse me. A Particularly Nasty Case by Adam Kay. When his toxic medical director dies of a heart attack, a fellow doctor, Eaton Rose, smells foul play. Nobody else does, though, including some quite crucial players like the police and the medical examiner. So Eaton vows to uncover the truth himself. I'm not sure how that name is pronounced. We're just going to go with it. But Eaton's own past and reputation are far from spotless, despite his budding relationship with Cole, a handsome hospital porter, and reluctant camaraderie with his office mate Margaret with the cats. As his colleagues become increasingly concerned about his mental health, Eaton's investigation spirals out of control. Could a killer really be stalking the wards, or is Eaton making a catastrophic mistake? Claire McIntosh has a new one called Other People's Houses. You want what they have, but what price would you pay? The Hill is the kind of place everyone wants to live, luxurious, exclusive, and safe. But now someone is breaking and entering these Cheshire homes one by one, and D.S. Leo Brady suspects the burglar is looking for something or someone in particular. Over the border in Wales, D.C. Fionn Morgan recovers the body of an estate agent from the lake. There's no love lost between Fionn and estate agents, but who hated this one enough to want her dead, and why? As their cases collide, Fionn and Leo discover people will pay a high price to keep their secrets behind closed doors. The Vanishing Place by Zoe Rankin. A shocking murder in the New Zealand bush, and the witness, who looks all too familiar, draws a woman back to the very place she swore she'd never return to. A child who ran from the forest, a woman who must return to it. Growing up with her younger siblings in the unforgiving New Zealand bush, Effie believed their parents had cut them off from civilization because they loved nature. She never suspected that their reasons might be more menacing. After witnessing a terrifying episode of violence, she escaped the wilderness to forge a life for herself halfway across the globe. Now, when she learns the only witness to a murder is a little girl who looks just like her, Effie is compelled to return to the scene of her troubled childhood, where the secrets of her upbringing and the terrors of her past come rushing back to the surface. In order to find out once and for all what became of her family and possibly help this mysterious girl who could be her younger self, Effie must face her greatest fears once more. Tagline on the book says, "You can't escape, but you can vanish." End of row one. The Wasp Trap by Mark Edwards. 6 friends reunite in London to celebrate the life of the recently deceased ex-employer, a professor that brought them together in 1999 to help build a dating website based on psychological testing. But what is meant to be a night of bittersweet nostalgia soon becomes a twisted and deadly game. The old friends are given an ultimatum: reveal their darkest secrets to the group or pick each other off one by one. It soon becomes clear that their current predicament is related to their shared past. The love questionnaire they helped develop in 1999 for the dating site was also turned into a tool for weeding out psychopaths. The Wasp Trap. This experiment and other tragic events of that summer long ago may help reveal the truth behind a killer hiding in plain sight. Melinda Lee has a new one. Beyond Her Reach, Bree Taggart, number 10. In the quiet suburban neighborhood in upstate New York, single mom Kelly Gibson is slain in her home, the victim of a rage killing. Right away, Sheriff Bree Taggart has 3 persons of interest: an angry soon-to-be husband, a furtive rebound boyfriend, and an obsessive neighbor. But as Bree and investigator Matt Flynn work together to narrow the field, there's a shocking twist in the case. A second woman is murdered in the same brutal fashion. While investigating, Bree is attacked and left for dead. When another woman is kidnapped, Bree and Matt must act quickly to unravel the deceptions in Kelly's life and death. Find a killer before someone else dies. Allison Brennan has a new one. This is second in her Angel Heart Investigations series. Says, "Don't Say a Word" is the title. The police ruled Elijah Martinez's death an accidental drug overdose, but the teen's grieving mother isn't convinced. With the case officially closed, Angel Heart Investigations is the only one who can help her find the truth. Margot Angel Heart's sure this will be an easy solve. She's talked to Elijah's friends and employer, retraced his steps, and figure out what happened in his final hours. Except none of his friends believe he did drugs, and the teacher who's been vocal about the police mishandling the case turns up dead. Every thread Margot pulls leads back to a dangerous drug ring that once ran through the school. When Margot's brother Jack, a former cop, can't get straight answers out of the police, they don't know if it's because of an active case or a cover-up. Margot's only sure of one thing: she has to find out what really happened to Elijah before more teens become pawns in a twisted scheme. Second, yeah, there we go. The Night Collector, second in the Vegas Shadows series by Victor Methos. He's an Edgar nominee. The abduction of two teenagers from their Vegas wedding isn't a case Detective Lazarus Holloway wants to take, it's one he has to take. His only clue is a bracelet with a Mayan symbol of death and vengeance, two things the detective is familiar with. With no other leads, Lazarus enlists the help of guardian ad litem Piper Danes. They've got a complicated history, but Piper shares his compulsion to save children in need, no matter the personal cost. Unfortunately, that cost gets higher with every new revelation. As they tread further into the dangerous network surrounding the case, secrets from Lazarus' past follow close behind. He soon finds himself entangled with the players in this game of life, death, and disappearances. And if he can't figure out how he fits in, there may be no getting out. The Night Collector. End of that row. No Rest for the Wicked by Rachel Louise Adams. This is a debut. In one Halloween-obsessed Midwestern town, everyone's on red alert after a local politician goes missing. Little do they know it's only the beginning. It's been close to 20 years since the forensic pathologist Dolores Hawthorne left her hometown of Little Horton, Wisconsin. The town is famous for its Halloween celebrations, but also its history of violent deaths linked to the holiday. To Dolores, it's the place she fled, family, bad memories, and all. Until the FBI calls to tell her that her father, the former mayor turned U.S. Senator, is missing under mysterious circumstances. Some people count to 10 to wake up from a nightmare. Dolores always counts the bones of her head instead. Sphenoid, frontal, lacrimal. But no matter how many times she counts them, it doesn't change the fact that her father is missing, that his final words of warning to her were to trust no one, and that now the rest of her family is giving Dolores a chilling welcome. With Halloween fast approaching, Dolores must face the past she left behind before it's too late. And all those cats staring is not creepy at all. Now this next one was interesting. It's a mystery. It's a crime fiction, but it's in a fantasy setting. I Killed the King, book number 1, called I Killed the King, by Rebecca Mix and Andrea Hanna. After a decade of war, the kingdoms of Avondale and Estelia have finally agreed to peace. As nobles and magic wielders from both countries arrive at remote Castle Avondale for a historic all-night masquerade to celebrate, King Costas summons an unlikely group to his chambers. The Crown Prince, his Estelian bride-to-be, his personal guard, a wild beast tamer, and the palace's questionable new healer. But before Costas can reveal why he has gathered them, the castle goes dark. When the lights come back, the king is dead, murdered with the princess's knife in a weak spot only his guard knew of, and with venom from one of the beast tamer's monsters lacing the blade. With no clear killer and everyone a suspect, they make a risky pact. Tell no one until the treaty is signed. But when a winter storm seals everyone inside, and someone aware of the king's untimely death begins to pick off guests one by one, the 6 suspects must work together to discover who killed the king before one of them is next. I don't know. Do you give it a try? I would say the next step would be to see what the writing is like. Read the first few paragraphs. The Fairest by Jenny Milchman, second in the Arles Shepherd thrillers. Author Kara Parsons is at a book signing in the town where she was raised. Before it's over, a young girl approaches with a copy of Kara's book containing a handwritten inscription, "I am a missing child." Most people would alert the police, but Kara knows what happens to the young and vulnerable when the system fails them. It doesn't happen every time. She turns to her former therapist, Arles Shepherd, who's recovering from injuries and staying off the grid. But even Arles, who's seen everything, finds something off about this girl who refuses to reveal her own name. What is she running from, and how much of what she says can be believed? When a man with a gun manages to locate Arl's remote wilderness home, the true threat is revealed, and Arls and Kara go on the run, but fleeing only gets them so far. To save this child, Arls must allow her to be found, and that's when the real danger begins. I am zipping right along, and there weren't that many there. I was trying not to be too fast. There weren't a whole lot in the darker crimes. We could see where we were at in the cozies. We've got about 6 minutes left. Where are we at? We're up here. Cozy. If we can remember where we parked. We did that. I think it was over here. I think we were on the Tanya Coppice. So, switching to Cozy Mysteries, published this week. Tanya Coppice has book number 41 in A Camper and Criminal's Cozy Mysteries. Hunts, Hikes, and Havoc. Mae West is no stranger to mystery. As owner of Happy Trails Campground and partner to park ranger Hank Sharp, she's kept normal Kentucky running as smoothly as a campfire marshmallow roast. But when paranormal TV star Ken Treadwell is found stabbed during the town's Haunts and Hikes festival, with no murder weapon in sight, things take a deadly detour. With her mama's event on the line and campground gossip reaching a full boil, Mae must untangle a haunted whodunit with help from her fiercely loyal laundry club ladies. The suspects, Ken's polished entourage, a few bitter locals, and even Mae's right-hand woman, the fiery Dottie Swaggart. As secrets surface and the ghost hunting crowd grows restless, Mae races to catch a killer before the next story ends in more than just screams. The Catcher in the Pie by Matilda Swift, fourth in the Parchment Paper Mysteries. Jessica Askew, a master of muffins and mayhem, thought January in Little Quillington would be a quiet affair, but when Hattie's roller skating chaos and the hunt for a new assistant trying her patience, peace is the last thing on the menu. When Jessica spots an intruder on Askew Avenue, she's shocked to find her niece, Nell, is hiding from the rest of the family. The dead body at her feet turns up the heat, and Jessica must trade her baking apron for a detective's hat to find out what happened. Add to the mix a gossip-peddling poet typing tales in the village square, Mrs. Myrtle's suspiciously supportive demeanor, and Hattie's outrageous quirky claims, and Jessica's got a full plate. Can this sweet-toothed sleuth sift through the clues and clear Nell's name, or will frosty family secrets shatter this fragile possibility? Wow, they're trying to throw some tongue twisters in there. Swan Song by Shel Delisle, second in a Bertie Burns mystery. Robin Bertie Burns is just trying to survive a gala without tripping over a body. Spoiler, she fails spectacularly. A glittering Palm Beach gala for single mothers erupts into chaos when an auctioneer keels over, followed by the co-chair. Moments later, Bertie learns a $1 million necklace up and vanished, and she's reluctantly pulled back into the detective game she thought she left behind. The suspects are mostly from one family, the motives are hopelessly tangled, and the stakes more personal than she expected. With her best friend by her side, old allies counting on her, and secrets making everything dang near impossible, Bertie must learn that appearances deceive and loyalty can be lethal. Palm Beach has never been so deadly or so deliciously dramatic. All right, let's do a couple more. How to Get Murdered in Devon. This is by Stephanie Austin, ninth in the Devon Mysteries.
When Juno Brown purchased a car for her lover, Daniel Thorncroft, she was not expecting that the previous owner would lock a dead body in the boot. Who the dead man could be is a persistent question, as is the whereabouts of the seller, Amber Horrell. While Inspector Ford and the Ashburton police are on the case, Juno's insatiable curiosity and concern for the missing Amber lead her to start sleuthing on her own. It turns out that the Horrells, Amber's family, are notorious in this corner of Devon, with an ancient murder and vanishing red diamond in their past, and a shady antiques business very much in their present. With a second murder, Juno's involvement in the investigation becomes more complicated, and the line between reality and fiction also become blurred, but the truth she discovers is far more complicated than it seems. How much does that leave us? 12, 15? That leaves us 15 for Friday. Everybody remember that we parked on How to Get Murdered in Devon. She says, wow, 41 books, much less all in one series. Serious business for sure. True, but they're all under 200 pages, so she's one of those who kind of cranks them out. But more power to her. She's successful. All right. Well, thank you for watching. So on Friday, we'll be looking at the last of those 15 cozy mysteries. Appreciate you watching. Again, I don't have any sprints tonight. Our next sprints are tomorrow night, Thursday night at 8 p.m. Eastern. Hope you have a good day. Be safe. Mary, enjoy your rain. I think that's awesome. And I want you guys to know you are all in my heart. Please be safe out there. And as the banner says here, Mary says, hope you're having a great week at work. And everyone, thanks again. You are welcome. We'll see you in a little bit. And as the banner says, don't be a bookworm, be a bookie monster. Have a good day. God bless.